One thing that we find is that particularly startups are often reliant to some extent on their founders or on other key staff. It's the last thing that any potential, person coming into an ownership position wants to encounter, is that there's overwhelming reliance on that founder, for example, for the ongoing success of the business. And so if you can get in front of this early, then you can undertake that transition quite successfully. Whereas I guess if it was less of a staged transition, that can be done less successfully.
Yeah, speaking about that and starting early, I recall a survey that your business did some time ago. Would you care to comment on some of that?
I guess the overwhelming evidence that we're finding is that with the ageing population, I guess, that we have in Australia, that a lot of business owners in Australia are older, and certainly they are looking to get out of the game in the next probably 5 to 10 years. What we're finding is that they're just expecting it to happen, that there's not really a lot of planning in place for those sorts of business owners, that they're just sort of expecting that the day will come around, someone will rock up and give them an offer for their business, and away they go. I don't see that as being a particularly strong strategy in my view. That certainly once you get to a point where you are strongly thinking about succession, you probably want to give yourself at least 3 to 5 years to try and plan that out, and certainly having your business in a state of being succession ready at all times, potentially at that point, is quite important, rather than basically saying, I want to sell but I'm not ready, is probably not the best outcome for a business owner.
Yeah. And Craig, on some legal issues or anything there that you've seen over time in that legal area in preparing?
We always encourage people that when you're looking at selling your business, you really should be running the business all the time, like it could be sold at any point in time. So that means really backing out any of that. If you've got personal expenses running through the business, it's probably time to start transitioning away from that. A lot of businesses that will have had long-term employees won't have any signed employment agreements, which is fine because, you've got these employees that have been there for a long time. You trust them, they trust you. But that's just not going to fly for a purchaser coming in and looking at things. They will want to see that you do have an employment agreement, you do have policies and procedures. They'll want to see if, leases documented, key contracts with suppliers, with customers. They'll want to see all of those bits and pieces that actually go into operating a business. And look, the benefit of doing that is by going through that process and kind of modernising everything and making everything compliant, you actually quite often sort of eke out a bit of extra performance from the business because you have looked at those issues and tightened things up anyway. So even if you don't end up doing the succession in very short order, you'll probably get some real improvements anyway. So the process itself is valuable.